Today, real simple day. Goddamn. Let's get to it. Let's take it back. Take it back to 9:30. All right, boom. So first of all, we tapping off this daily. We tapping off this daily fair value gap. We disrespecting this daily gap. So I had a bullish bias for the main reason being I didn't see nothing lower that we could target. Like we was inside of this 4 hour gap. We was inside this 4 hour gap. This shit is nothing to target under here. I mean, unless you want to target New York 830 lows. So so yeah, I was completely bearish. Like this shit is clearly a bearish market, but just because it's bearish don't mean you gotta take buys. I mean take sales. So right at 9:30, what we do is
You gonna post on YouTube too.
oh. So goddamn what we did was we tapped into this gap and then we opened up a 15-minute gap. So my whole thing was if we respect this 15-minute gap, then I was gonna take a buy up until till Asia session highs. The Asia session highs, which is up here. But if we disrespected it and went lower, then I would have been hoping for S&T to still take buys because, like I said, the next draws that's lower is fucking far as fuck. Like, you kind of just got to use common sense with this shit because he is ultimately bearish, but just because it's bearish don't mean you got to take sales. So we opened up this 15-minute and we ended up trading into it. We end up trading into it, and then we leave this 15-minute intermediate low. Intermediate low. So my whole thing was coming into it because this is at 9:10. My whole thing was if for me to take a buy, either we need to open a 15 or 5-minute, or we need to retest this 5-minute and take out this 15-minute intermediate low. So what we end up coming to do is we end up going up, we go up, we come down, and boom, we sweep out this intermediate low, and we end up making an SMT because we got these lows here that we did not take out on ES. ES didn't even hit this 15-minute gap. So we end up creating a bullish SMT. So from there, we did open up a 5-minute gap. So we end up having this 5-minute gap open up. Hold on. We end up opening up this 5-minute gap. So I could have waited for the inverse of the 5-minute, but I didn't want to wait for the inverse of the 5-minute. I was really paying attention to the 2-minute because I was super confident that we was going up to Asia session highs, especially since we were respecting this 15-minute low. So the reason why I took buys is because like you need confirmation. So I didn't just slap it on. What I noticed was we start this plan through 5-minute bearish. 5-minute bearish fair value gaps. We disrespecting those, and then we open up a 15-minute bullish fair value gap. So since we respected it, it's like already I'm having market shift ideas. Plus, what we end up actually getting is a market shift because we end up creating this high. So we get a market shift. We end up creating this high, and then we close above it. Clear sign of a market shift. Plus, we got this 15-minute gap. So since we got this 15-minute gap, and we got this intermediate low, I was like, all right, we need to come back into this gap. But just because we inside this gap, don't mean I can hit buy. We need to basically be the new candle that respects the gap. So it's all right, boom. Before market open, we already got a type of this gap in a rejection. So for the only way I can reuse this gap is if we take out the low that's resting inside the gap. So we do that. Cool. I go on a 2-minute. I was super confident. I end up entering the market before this candle closed. I usually want the market closure, but didn't get the market closure. So then actually, let's see, where did I actually close? I actually closed as soon as we basically was able to create an SMT. So I closed about right here. This is about where I closed my trade, and my stop loss was actually about right here at the bottom of this order block. So I caught about a 1.3. 1.3 to 1 basically. And that was the trade for today. So like I said, so to just to recap it in the simplest form, we got a market shift on a 15-minute. We are tapping off this daily fair value gap. And we are also tapping off this 4-hour fair value gap, rejecting off of it. So doing that, my extra confirmation that was going the opposite direction was we opened up a 15-minute gap. We go into the 15-minute gap, boom, we tap it, we respect it, we leave a low, and boom, we come out, we take out that low. And we did not do so on the S&P 500, creating a bullish SMT, which ultimately solidified my bias to take a buy in the market. And ultimately, we caught dub. I went ahead and went break even at the high of this leg. And yeah. Helped. Super simple shit. You just want to play off key levels being high time frame gaps. Lowest time frame that we can use gap is 5 minute, but the 5 minute must be sponsored by a high time frame gap. So you can't just go to every gap and then take a buy, because it got to be sponsored. Like if we have a 5 minute gap and below that we have a 15, 30 minute or hourly gap, you want to say fuck that 5 minute gap and you want to take it off the hourly gap, 15 minute gap, 30 minute gap. You want to play it like that. Like, but if we go on a higher time frame, we hit an hourly fair value gap, that's mitigated. We hit a 30-minute gap, that's mitigated. We hit a 15-minute gap, it's mitigated. Then we open up a 5 minute. You don't need that 15-minute gap. You can still be weary of it. You just got to kind of see where it rejects. But if everything is in line, you just kind of want to use a hierarchy. Like, all right, boom, the 15-minute gap mitigated, the 30-minute mitigated, the hourly mitigated, the 4-hour mitigated. All right, this 5 minute is valid. It's sponsored by these other gaps that's been respected to continue up. So that's a little sauce for the day. Got big dubs for the day. I'll be back with another one.